Hello my friends and welcome, my name is Dennis and this is the latest update from Ukraine. On this picture you can see Tupolev Tu-22M3 Russian strategic bomber, and also as you can see in the picture it was damaged by some sort of the attack. Who conducted that? Russia claims that it's Ukraine. I don't honestly know. We don't have proofs so far, but the fact that Russian strategic bombers, which are far away from the front lines, sustain dramatic damage, as you can see in the picture, is quite shocking, I think, for the Russian public the most. Well, if it was a rocket, it just hit near to the airplane, not destroying it completely, but destroying the nearby track, which is the ground power unit that is used to start the airplane usually, or just supply electricity for some sort of the maintenance. The maintenance job was conducted by 3 of the technicians, and all of them lost their lives. Well, it may happen because if you serve in the army of the country that attacked the other one, you may have some risks. Doesn't matter if you are close to the front lines or further away, like here, more than 600 kilometers away from the Ukrainian border, still those guys lost their lives. And that happened in Davydov air base. You can see the screenshot that was taken, so probably rocket hit somewhere here, and Russia claimed that they shut down the rocket and just debris of that hit somewhere near here. I wonder if it's the shadow. I think it's the trace from the rocket explosion. So here's the track, rocket hit a little bit further away than the airplane. And here I just want to show you the location of that airfield. We need to go to Ruzzian. Ruzzian is here, the big city, and here you can see the airfield with Russian bombers. We have the big bombers like Tupolev 95, also transport airplanes Illusion 76, and those Tu-22M3 or M2 modifications. So somewhere here it was the attack. Yes, I guess it was here on this apron and close to this taxiway intersection. Here you can see lots of the ammunition. So those airplanes were used obviously in the war against Ukraine. So here we can see the building, other facilities, and if we go back to Google Maps, here you can see the same building and ammunition depot. I think that the target was that ammunition depot, not the particular airplane, because Russia has many of those, but for ammunitions they are in lack of the high precision ammunition. But if we go from Ruzzian a little bit to the southeast, here is Saratov. Saratov was also under attack today. Here is the base for the Russian strategic aviation. Again, we have the Tupolev Tu-95 airplanes, and Russia collected around 20 of those units and they constantly launched them to attack Ukraine. So Russia again planned the attack this Monday, and just before their attack they had explosions in their airfields. And this explosion was much bigger in Saratov compared to Ruzzian. I bet someone hit the ammunition depot successfully there. And one more camera from the residential building. Huge explosion. And we don't know about the situation with the Russian airplanes in Saratov, in Engels Air Base. And because we don't have videos or photos, it means that Russia probably lost their airplanes there. Not all of them, but could be few, 2 or more. They were planning to attack Ukraine today using 20 airplanes, but finally launched 14. Where are the 6 airplanes? And here you can also find the ammunition depot where you may see the rockets. So this is the command building over here, the tower. And here, if you zoom in, you can see the rockets that are used on those airplanes that are parked on the apron. Those are Tupolev 160. They were in Ukraine as well, but somehow Ukraine passed them to the Russian Federation according to agreement which was signed also together with the United States. And by the way, this day 28 years ago, the Budapest Memorandum was signed to protect Ukraine. It was signed by the Russia, United States, and I think Great Britain, that they promised to protect Ukraine if we'll get rid of our nuclear arsenal. So we got rid of the nuclear arsenal, but the Budapest Memorandum was just a paper. So right now, looking back, it was a very stupid move from Ukrainian authorities to sign the memorandum and get rid of our nukes. In any case, Russia would not dare to attack our country if we would have nuclear weapons, and we gave them all of our arsenal together with the airplanes. What a nonsense. And also Russian officials say that Ukraine used those Soviet-made drone airplanes, or you may call them cruise missiles, look like some sort of the small jet airplane, and I didn't know that we still have them in our army. I thought they're just in our museums, but if we got them flying, it's great. What's good about that, let's say, cruise missile, that it may cover around 1,000 kilometers of the range, so it may target even Moscow. But without the nuclear warhead, it doesn't present the huge threat for the Russian army. And this amber area over here shows the range of that cruise missile that Ukraine may use, but I'm sure that we don't have lots of the units of those cruise missiles. I guess we used them to try to cancel the Russian rocket attack today, but it didn't happen. However, Russia fired much less rockets than before, and yes, some of the rockets hit the targets. However, we shot down many of those, more than 60. And what Putin did today, he attended the Kerch Bridge. Awesome achievement. He was driving the Mercedes over there. And there you can see Toyota probably, or Lexus, not sure. And he examined the repair job that locals are doing. As you can see, they already repaired the car part of the bridge. The railway road, however, is still dramatically damaged, and he asked, okay, how are we gonna do it? And they told him basically that they have a special thing how they can solve that problem. I think they need to cut this area that sustained some of the damage and then put it off and put the new one. There are some people, obviously not the workers, because who will let normal people to be close to Putin? Bad news about the United States HIMARS. They were modified not to fire the long-range missiles. So our HIMARSes are capable just for 80 kilometers distance range. That's all we have. I wonder if it applies to the M270 platform with the Caterpillars. I would like to have the long-range missiles to see them in Ukrainian army, because it is a game changer. Could be, but still United States doesn't want Ukraine to use those rockets. One of the rockets hit Moldova today, the north part of it. Here you can see the rocket. First I thought that it was the Russian rocket, however there are no any signs of explosion, and some experts say that it was the booster part of the S-300 rocket. So probably Russia fired, they also fired today the Caliber rockets from the Black Sea, and one of the rockets could be very close to Moldova, and we fired the S-300, and the booster that is used for the acceleration of the S-300 rocket just landed somewhere in a garden of Moldova. And don't worry, there are no any explosions inside the booster. However, still it is dangerous for the population. Let's say there could be some people, gardeners, someone could be there. So this war affects not just Ukraine but other neighboring countries. Remember what happened in Poland. Still investigation is ongoing. No one can say for sure whose rocket was there. And this I captured today on my phone. Basically you can go to the flight radar 24, and most of the time some of the surveillance airplanes are Western Allies are helping us to navigate throughout the airspace, and they may spot the Russian rockets that enter Ukraine, and they help us a lot. One of the Russian opposition bloggers who criticized Kadyrov for a long time was found dead in Sweden. However, Swedish police does not provide any kind of comments on that case. The guy's name was Timso Abdurrahmanov, and he was kind of popular YouTuber. He got more than 400,000 subscribers. There were some talks that Russia may give the control over the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant to International Atomic Agency or even to Ukraine. But now Russian officials say that no, don't think about it. It should be under the Russian control since it's on a Russian territory. Actually, it's not. And in the future, I think they will finally give the nuclear power plant to Ukrainian side because there is no other way out for them. United States sent some weaponry to Poland to reinforce the ally, which is the neighboring country with Ukraine, and for sure we also need that stuff, but NATO is NATO. If you're a member, you have more help. It was filmed today. A Russian cruise missile was hit by the German-made Gepard tank, I would say the air defense tank, and successfully used here against those missiles. The full video is available on my Telegram channel. You can follow the link below because I cannot upload it on my YouTube because of the policy. Lack of competence from some of the Ukrainian Telegram channels. They say that you can see the traces of the explosions just near to the airplanes. No, those airplanes are in a parked position. If they go on a maintenance or they're ready to serve or to fly soon, they will be towed here a little bit forward, and what you see is the apron covered with oil. Yes, the oil drips from the engines. There are 4 engines in Tupolev, and yes, it's the normal thing for the aviation engines, especially old Soviet made. Even on Boeing 737 there are some oil leaks. You cannot seal the bearings, and bearings should be oil cooled all the time and lubricated, and that's why even on the commercial aprons, and then you go to the airfield, if you want to go fly somewhere, you may spot the oil plums. If there is no snow, no rain, you will see them. About the military map and the front lines, no changes for today. Russia concentrated mostly on possible Ukrainian attack of their air bases, and also they conducted their rocket attack hitting our infrastructure as usual. However, our officials say that they need just a couple of days to fix the power plants and all the power lines, so it wasn't that significant as it was on 23rd of November, the last time Russia dared to attack Ukraine. And anyways, I'm gonna keep you updated on situation in Ukraine. If you want to support me, just press the like button. It helps me a lot. If you want to support me financially, there are some links in a video description below. You may support me on Patreon, PayPal, or Donatella, whichever is more convenient for you. Thank you so much for your support. My friends, I wish you all a peaceful sky wherever you are. Have a great time.